refined. And so I wanted to take a minute and create a message. I haven't posted a video in a while, and so I felt this is a great time. What I wanted to talk about today is the refining process and how we actually get refined. You know, we've talked about regrouping for change and what it takes in order to see the success that you want and to accomplish the things that you so desire to accomplish. But a part of that process, and maybe I shouldn't even say the word, but a part of that regrouping for change process is refinement. And knowing who you are and what you stand for and what it is that you truly desire is all a part of the process of change. And it's a refinement because I'm pretty sure at some point you thought about who you were and what you wanted. Think back to your high school days. When you were graduating from high school, if you applied to college, you had to write a personal statement. And so you thought through some of that process then. As you were looking for jobs and interviewing whether you went to college or not, I'm sure you're gainfully employed somewhere doing something. No matter how much you make per hour, you had to interview for a position. And in that interview process, there are some things that you naturally have to think about. You have to think about what it is that you want so you know where you are applying to. You also have to know what it is that you can offer, because the job process, the interview process, isn't just about what an employer can offer you in terms of salary and benefits and experience, but it's what can you offer the employer. And so why does an employer want to choose you over me? And if you've properly prepared for that interview or that personal statement, you've had to sit back and think through, what is it that's special about me? What's dynamic about me? And so I suggest to you that that's a part of the refinement process. And so over time, as we develop skills, as we have more experiences, as we increase and enhance who we are, we begin to refine ourselves, and we reshape and we redefine who we are and the things that are important to us. And in a lot of situations, that's not an easy process. I mean, think about it. Think of some of the reasons why you would refine yourself. You'd refine yourself because you've been stuck at a dead-end job and it's time for something different. And so you have to reshape and reprioritize the things that matter to you so you can get out of the slump and get a new, rewarding position. But what about that relationship that just beats you down mentally, maybe even physically? And there was so much going on, and there were times in your life where you thought, wait a minute, who am I? Where you felt like you lost yourself in that relationship or in that marriage. You no longer knew who you were and what you stood for, because everything that you were doing, you realized, was for your mate or even for your children. And so at some point you wanted to redefine who you were as an individual. Think about the family situations that you've been in, and maybe you were the oldest child and you were responsible for helping to take care of your younger siblings. And so most of your childhood was spent caring for and nurturing others, and very little time did you get to spend thinking about yourself. And so then you were tossed into a work environment where, again, you were focused on the security of a position and getting paid so you can continue to take care of yourself and maybe even still your younger siblings, but you never really thought about what mattered to you. Or maybe you were the baby sibling and automatically had expectations placed on you because of the trends and results of your older siblings, because of their successes and or their failures. Maybe there were just certain things that were prescribed for your life that you didn't personally prescribe, but that were just put on you, expectations that you were trying to meet based on somebody else's standards. And so again, we get into these places and these processes where we begin to have to redefine, and rethink of who are we and what do we stand for. And sometimes, a lot of times, what happens is there's a lot of discomfort. And so I just wanted to come and share that with you today, that there are going to be times where refinement comes in a place, at a moment, at a time of true discomfort. And so you've got to be willing to go through that. You've got to be willing to experience whatever it is that comes up against you, so that you can really twist and get to the root of the things that are deeply within you. I'm headed back to Tallahassee from Miami, and it was very uncomfortable preparing for this trip, trying to figure out where was I going to stay. What could my minimal resources afford by way of lodging? Travel-wise, was I going to drive my car or rent a car? How would I pay for gas? Where would I travel? How would I know how to get from point A to point B? What's the city safe? It's been a long time since I've had to travel by myself. And so trying to think through some of these processes was a great challenge. I looked at hotels and they were way outside of my price range. I found 2 hotels in downtown Miami which could have fit my budget maybe, but they didn't seem safe. And so I was immediately taken back to my childhood and had to think back on experiences that I had in neighborhoods that I was in, and I thought, Marquita, you can handle this. But then it was, well, what happens with your car? Is your car going to be safe in downtown Miami? You've heard all the stories. Are you going to be able to walk from point A to point B? Where are you going? What's the distance? And there were so many questions and so much discomfort. I started looking at Airbnbs, and I thought, these are great. And then guess what I ran into? I ran into a bunch of possibilities that were multi-bed rooms, which means there's more than one stranger sharing a room at any given time. Well, how uncomfortable is that? But I considered it because guess what? It was $18-20 a night. I could definitely fit that in my budget. But at what risk? What would I be risking sharing a room with men and women who I have no idea who they are, where they come from, what their intentions are, or anything else? And then I thought about the fact that that particular area is a high trafficking area for sex slave trafficking. And I just thought, oh my gosh, Marquita, what are you walking into? And I had to take a step back. I had to remember whose I am. Let me repeat that. I had to remember whose I am. I was sent on an assignment by God to go down to the city of Miami to take a potential interview, or I should say to take an interview for a potential position. But I had to know, and I had to be firm on the word that I was not sent by myself, that God had traveled before me and prepared the way, that He set this interview up, and there was absolutely no way that He was going to keep me unsafe, that He was going to make me stay in an uncomfortable environment, that the provisions wouldn't be made in terms of safety and rental and lodging or anything else, that the plan would work out. The process of getting there was uncomfortable. I have never driven 8 hours by myself. The most I've done is 4.5. Anything over that, I've always had my husband in the car with me. And so I thought, am I going to have the strength? Am I going to have the stamina? But you know what? When you need that refinement and when you want something bad enough, you have to be willing to do what it takes. You have to be willing to go through moments of discomfort. You have to be willing to think through the difficult. You have to be willing to see the unseeable, to fulfill the promise that you've been called to fulfill. And so out of that discomfort came an experience that was so amazing. An experience to just reflect on who I am, to think on my skill sets, to remind me of what it is that I deserve, to remind me of some of the promises of God and what He has set out for me, the things that He's poured into my spirit, some of the scriptures that have been settled into my soul. I've had an opportunity to reflect on those things. I woke up this morning with a praise on my lips, and I just kept thinking, I am so worthy. I am so mighty. I deserve this opportunity. I am confident. I am a child of the Most High God, and I affirmed myself over and over, and I walked into that place. and I was the most comfortable that I've been in a really long time. Not because of anything that I've done, not because of anything special that stands out about me above the rest, but solely because I was willing to go through a moment of discomfort. I was willing to step out of my comfort zone to do something that I've never ever done in order to get something that I really, really want. And so my question for you today is, what are you willing to do to get the things that you want? My challenge to you today is to be willing to go through the refinement process, understanding that a part of refinement is going to be moments of discomfort. So are you willing to be uncomfortable in order to truly be refined? Think on that and drop a note below and let us know what you think.